Russia accuses U.S. of trying to prolong. Ukraine war. Russia has accused the U.S. of prolonging the war in Ukraine by rushing weapons to Kyiv before President-elect Trump takes office. Looking at the actions of the outgoing U.S. administration, everyone sees that they are trying to prolong the war in Ukraine and are doing everything possible to achieve this goal, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said at a press conference in Moscow today. Peskov's comments in support of the U.S. came after the Pentagon said it had agreed to provide anti-ground support to Ukraine, boosting its defenses and helping its military slow down Russia's advance on the Eastern Front. Human rights groups in several countries have expressed concern about the decision, along with concerns about civilian casualties and the pace of post-war bomb disposal. The U.S. switch to anti-ground support for Ukraine could weaken international incentives to fully attack this type of weapon. The International Campaign to Ban the Bomb, ICBL, said it condemns this tough U.S. decision and will work to make the U.S. change its mind. The unnamed official in the Joe Biden administration also said the Pentagon was moving quickly to transfer $7.10 billion worth of weapons from the Pentagon stockpile to Ukraine before Trump announces the procedure on January 20, 2025. Mr. Peskov stressed that President Vladimir Putin would not agree to stop the war in Ukraine, rejecting reports that he might consider agreeing to such a move in talks with U.S. President-elect Donald Trump. The president has repeatedly said that any option to freeze the conflict will not work for us. The important thing is that we achieve our goals, he said. The Kremlin spokesman also dismissed claims that Russia was involved in the work on fiber optic cables being cut under the Baltic Sea. It's absurd to blame Russia for everything without any evidence. It's also really famous who responded to Ukraine's coral activities in the Baltic Sea, said Peskov, referring to the alleged Ukrainian crime of causing an explosion on the Nord Stream gas pipeline in the region. Russia and Ukraine are both trying to gain more advantages on the battlefield before Mr. Trump, who has repeatedly declared that he will end the war in Ukraine, takes over the White House. AP on November 19 quoted unnamed U.S. officials as saying that the U.S. is about to transfer a new batch of weapons worth $275 million to Ukraine, including air defense systems, HIMARS rocket artillery, as well as 155mm and 105mm guns, Javelin anti-tank missiles, and other equipment and spare parts. President Biden this week authorized Ukraine to use long-range U.S. missiles to attack Russian territory, a move that was harshly criticized by Mr. Trump's allies. Ukraine launched about 8 attack missiles at Russian territory on November 19, according to U.S. officials, and only 2 of them were intercepted. The U.S. is assessing the effectiveness of the strike, but the sources said the missiles hit a Russian ammunition depot in Karachev, Bryansk region. Russian President Vladimir Putin signed a series of changes to the country's nuclear weapons doctrine on the same day, allowing the use of atomic weapons if Russia does not have large modules.